chosen one, hear this word with the weight it carries. A decree has gone forth, not whispered, not suggested, but declared with authority from the throne of the Most High. It concerns you and you alone. This is not a general word. It is not scattered seed. It is a targeted divine release issued on behalf of a soul who has been set apart before the foundation of the world. Your name was etched into this decree. Your journey, your pain, your calling, all of it has been seen, and now the time has come. You shall not remain where you now dwell. The place you inhabit, though it once held shelter, no longer holds the presence assigned to your destiny. Its season has expired. The atmosphere has grown stale. What once was sanctuary has become restriction. The Lord has spoken not with noise, but with thunder wrapped in silence. My servant will no longer reside in a house I have not chosen. This is not relocation by preference. This is not about comfort or strategy. This is divine repositioning. A command, a holy shift. You are being summoned not by man, not by logic, but by the hand of God Himself. In the unseen realm, the hour has been marked. Heaven's timing is not speculative, it is set. Before this year concludes, you will no longer call your current house home. The path has already begun to unfold. In the month of June, signs will multiply, subtle at first, then undeniable. In July, the weight of misalignment will press heavier upon your soul, making it impossible to remain numb. By August, the Lord will open the gate, not through your own effort or human arrangement, but by His sovereign hand alone. And by the time September breathes its first air, the transition must be complete. But this is not about property or location. It is not about square footage or financial advantage. It is about obedience. It is about the call that rests upon your life. The Lord has seen what no one else has. Your silent prayers, your hidden tears, the ache beneath routine. He has watched you walk through rooms, void of peace, smile through weariness, serve while unseen. And now, with both mercy and finality, He speaks. You must be moved. The angels have been released. Their assignments are in motion. Documents are being touched. Conversations are being stirred. Alignments are being restructured behind the veil of the natural. Though your eyes may not yet behold it, the earth has already begun to respond. Heaven has spoken, and creation listens. This message is not for the undecided. It is not for those who scroll past without trembling. It is for you, the one the Father calls by name. You will not recognize this word by outward details alone, but by the fire it stirs in your chest, the stillness it awakens in your soul, the deep certainty that this is not imagination, it is confirmation. The confirmation you prayed for, the release your spirit longed for. The Most High has moved, the decree has been sealed, and you will rise. Before we begin, if your spirit stirs, don't ignore it. This message is not random. It's appointed. If you feel it's meant for you, comment 77 below as a sign you're ready to receive. Let heaven see your heart is open. Now we begin. Before heaven changes a person's location, it stirs the ground beneath their soul. And this is precisely what has begun in the life of the Chosen One. For weeks, perhaps even months, the Chosen One has wrestled with a growing tension in the spirit. What once felt familiar now feels foreign. The peace that once dwelled in their home has grown quiet. In moments of stillness, a holy unease rises, not loud, not chaotic, but steady. It is heaven's way of calling them out. This unrest is not emotional imbalance nor circumstantial stress. It is not a matter of preference or mood. It is the mercy of God removing comfort from a place that no longer holds their calling. The Holy Spirit, with precision and grace, has begun to unroot the Chosen One from the ground they once called safe. And though they cannot yet see the new place prepared for them, their soul already knows they cannot stay where they are. They have walked through the rooms of their house with a heaviness they cannot name. They have awakened in the night without cause. They have sighed in silence and whispered, "Something here is not right anymore." These whispers are not random thoughts. They are confirmations. They are evidence that the anointing over the current dwelling has lifted, and God is preparing a way forward. As see, S. Lewis wrote in letters to Malcolm chiefly on prayer. We may ignore, but we can nowhere evade the presence of God. The world is crowded with him. He walks everywhere incognito. The holy unease stirring within the chosen one is not mere restlessness, but the inescapable presence of God moving incognito to guide them out of a place no longer aligned with their divine calling. This internal discontent is not a curse, it is a compass. It is not chaos, it is calling, as it is written, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth, do you not perceive it?" The chosen one does perceive it. Deep within, beyond language and logic, they know a shift has begun. And even if their feet have not moved, their spirit has already begun the journey. No amount of cleaning, redecorating, or effort to restore the old peace can change what heaven has already declared, expired. What God no longer blesses, no person can sustain. And what he is calling them into no fear can prevent. The home that once held joy has become spiritually silent. The air that once felt light now presses down. This is not superstition. This is discernment. And the chosen one must no longer explain away what the Spirit is trying to reveal. They are not unstable. They are being summoned. They are not restless. They are being readied. Every discomfort is holy. Every disruption is divine. God is not abandoning the chosen one. He is rescuing them from a space that cannot hold the next season of their destiny. And so the silence has meaning. The tension has purpose. The chosen one must not run from it. They must walk with it. Eyes open, ears attuned, heart surrendered, because the unrest within is not the enemy. It is the beginning of the Exodus. There are places that appear safe to the natural eye, yet carry the weight of invisible sorrow, and the Lord in his mercy has opened the eyes of the chosen one to see what flesh cannot discern. The house they now inhabit is not merely old, it is spiritually saturated. It carries marks from wounds never healed, words never unsaid, shadows never lifted, and though the walls still stand, the foundation is no longer blessed. This home where the chosen one once prayed with confidence and rested in peace has quietly shifted in tone. Conflict has increased. Silence feels heavy. Tears fall without reason. Laughter fades quickly. Something unseen has taken root, and though the chosen one has tried to press through, they now recognize the truth. This place has become misaligned with heaven. It no longer holds the light. It no longer releases peace. No matter how clean the rooms, how orderly the routine, something deeper is disturbed. The Lord has revealed that not all homes are sanctuaries. Some are battlegrounds stained by the griefs of former tenants, the residue of betrayal, addiction, violence, or unspoken curses. These things linger even after the people have gone. And unless the Lord himself consecrates the ground, the environment remains hostile to life, to rest, and to spiritual clarity. Though the chosen one has tried to create peace through worship, prayer, praise, and order, the weight remains, because what they are battling is not disorder, but defilement. The Lord has seen the quiet cries in the night, the unexplained illnesses, the breakdowns of communication, the sense that something is pressing against the family, the marriage, the spirit. And now he speaks. You are not imagining it. I see it, and I am calling you out. As it is written, when you enter the land I give you, and a plague appears in a house, then the priest shall come and examine it. Leviticus 14:34. The house of the chosen one has been examined, and heaven has determined that it cannot remain their dwelling. The atmosphere has been weighed and found wanting. The Lord is not bringing condemnation, he is bringing deliverance. No blessing can flourish where the Spirit does not rest. And though the chosen one has sown seeds of faith, of perseverance, of love, the ground beneath them is no longer fertile. The battles they fight are no longer just emotional or circumstantial, they are territorial. The oppression is not imagined. The warfare is real. And now the Father has drawn the line. He will not allow his chosen one to sleep another night unaware. The door will soon open. The grace to stay is lifting. The urgency to move is rising. And every delay beyond this point will only deepen the weight. What once protected has now imprisoned. What once sheltered now stifles. And the chosen one must understand God is not removing them from a house. He is releasing them from a war. God does not act according to human pacing. When heaven moves, it does so without hesitation, without the need for permission, and often without prior explanation. So it shall be for the chosen one. Their transition will not come gradually, nor through the expected processes of logic or effort. It will arrive like a sudden wind, unmistakable and undeniable, carrying the full weight of divine authority. What they could not make happen with striving, God will accomplish in a moment. Though the chosen one has waited long, the fulfillment will come swiftly. There will be no long lead-up, no gradual build, only the sudden shift from closed to open, from silence to instruction, from delay to divine release. A door that no human hand could craft will open. A word that no man could give will be spoken. A resource that could not be calculated will appear. It will not make sense to the natural mind, but the spirit within the chosen one will know this is the moment heaven has prepared. Even now the signs are forming. Circumstances that seemed disconnected are aligning. Conversations are shifting. Obstructions are weakening. The Lord has already gone before them. As it is written, I will go before you and level the exalted places. I will break in pieces the doors of bronze and cut through the bars of iron. Isaiah 45:2. And when God breaks something open, no voice in hell or earth can close it again. The opposition the chosen one has faced lately is no accident. The sudden resistance, the unusual weariness, the financial pressure, the emotional strain. These are not coincidences, they are reactions. Because the enemy, who cannot read God's mind, can still sense movement in the spirit. He knows what is approaching, and he is terrified, not of the person, but of their appointed place. The enemy understands that once the chosen one steps into the territory ordained for them, cycles will break, curses will lift, and legacy will be restored. So the battle increased, the noise grew louder, the doubts returned. But none of it will prevail, because the release has already been written. The Lord has sent his word forth, and it will not return void. He has dispatched angelic hosts to prepare the path. He has whispered instructions into waiting hearts, and soon the chosen one will watch doors open that no man can shut. As it is declared in Exodus 23:20, Behold, I send an angel before you to guard you on the way and to bring you to the place that I have prepared. The place is real, the assignment is active, and the time is now. Not next year, not someday, but soon, far sooner than the chosen one dares to imagine. When it comes, it will be fast. The call will come without warning. The invitation will arrive without striving. The shift will be so immediate that it will feel like stepping into a new dimension of life. And the chosen one will know this is not random, this is not coincidence, this is God keeping his promise. What no labor could accomplish, what no planning could unlock, heaven will perform with a single move. The transition will not be a process of escape. It will be a procession of victory, and the chosen one will not walk out in fear but in worship. The move is coming, and when it arrives, it will not be stopped. The one who calls is also the one who provides. And for the chosen one, the provision for this transition has already been written into the story, long before the need was visible, long before the prayer was whispered, long before the doubt had time to settle. Heaven has not only assigned the place, but has appointed the means. What is required will not be conjured by human effort or secured through anxious striving. It will come just as the manna fell in the wilderness, unearned, unpredicted, yet perfectly timed. The chosen one does not need to manipulate open doors, chase favor, or plead for help. Their Father is not absent. The storehouses of heaven are not empty. The God who multiplied oil in a widow's jar and brought gold from the mouth of a fish has not changed. He does not need a loan, a raise, or an explanation. He simply needs obedience. And once the chosen one aligns their steps with his voice, the resources will follow the movement, not before, not after, but exactly when it is required. Even now, provision is being prepared in silence. A payment owed is stirring in someone's heart. A door of employment is being shifted. A client is preparing a call. A piece of land, a document, a sum, whatever it may be, it is being released into motion at the speed of faith. The chosen one does not yet see it, but the orchestration has already begun. As C.S. Lewis wrote in the Screwtape Letters, prosperity knits a man to the world. He feels that he is finding his place in it, while really it is finding its place in him. The provision God is preparing for the chosen one is not to bind them to worldly attachments, but to free them for divine purpose, ensuring they move into the new dwelling, unencumbered by earthly fears. As it is written in 2 Corinthians 9:8, God is able to make all grace abound toward you, so that you, having all sufficiency in all things, may abound to every good work. And what is this move, if not a good work? What is this exodus, if not the will of the Father being made manifest in the life of his servant? The chosen one may have looked at their bank account and whispered, how they may have counted the cost and found nothing in their hands. But heaven does not deal in scarcity. God's answer is not based on what is seen, but on what has already been sent. The question is not whether he can provide. The question is whether the chosen one will trust the timing of what has already been dispatched. There will be a moment soon, sooner than they expect, when the chosen one will see something that doesn't make natural sense. A provision too perfect, a sum too specific, an opportunity too timely. And when that moment comes, they must not hesitate. They must not reduce the miracle to coincidence. They must recognize it as provision for purpose. This will not be provision that flatters pride. It will be provision that glorifies God. Not earned by might, not granted by man, but given by grace. There will be just enough, and then more. Enough for the move, enough for the furniture, enough for the deposit, the papers, the key, enough to breathe again without fear. And it will come in such a way that when the chosen one walks through the door of their new home, their only words will be, "This was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes." When God prepares a new dwelling for his servant, he also prepares a threshold, and not everything is permitted to cross it. As the time of transition draws near, the chosen one must understand not every memory, not every burden, not every person, and not every possession is meant to enter the next season. The calling forward also includes a calling to release. This move is not simply about a change of address. It is a divine separation between what was temporary and what is eternal, between what was allowed for a season and what is not permitted for, where the chosen one is going. The Lord in his love is not only providing a house, he is preserving the purity of that house. And that means certain things must be left behind. There are wounds the chosen one has carried for too long, silent griefs, unhealed betrayals, cycles of self-doubt, lingering fears. These cannot enter the door of promise, for they would only contaminate what God intends to consecrate. There are lies the enemy has whispered. You don't deserve better. This is the best it will ever be. You'll never afford more. These are not truths, they are chains, and they must be broken at the border of this new season. There are relationships too, some loud, some subtle, that have tied themselves to the chosen one's identity. People who dismiss the call, voices that discourage vision, bonds rooted in fear, guilt, or false loyalty. The Father sees them all and he whispers, "Let them go. They were never meant to finish the journey with you. For what is sacred must be protected, and not everyone who walked with the chosen one in the wilderness is assigned to enter the land of promise. Even objects may need to be released, items saturated with painful memories, furniture from former battles, clothing from past identities, souvenirs from closed chapters. These things, though material, hold weight in the spirit, and God, who is holy, does not fill houses that are full of what he has already ended. This principle is ancient. When God called Lot and his family out of Sodom, the instruction was clear. Do not look back. Yet Lot's wife turned, and in her longing for the past, she lost her future. Genesis 19:26. The chosen one must not repeat her error. There is nothing behind them that is worth more than what lies ahead. This release will not always be easy. There may be tears. There may be hesitation. But the chosen one is not being emptied to be left barren. They are being emptied to be filled with greater glory. God is not taking something from them. He is removing what no longer carries his presence. The chosen one must ask now, with humility and honesty, what am I carrying that cannot come with me? And when the Spirit reveals it, whether it is a fear, a person, a possession, or a pattern, they must lay it down without delay. The door is near. The key is ready. But the hands that carry it must be free. The weighting that weighed so heavily upon the chosen one was never an oversight from heaven. It was a furnace quiet but holy, where their faith was tested not by fire but by stillness. Every unanswered prayer, every quiet morning without breakthrough, every night where the silence felt louder than God's voice, none of it was punishment. It was purpose. The chosen one was not being ignored. They were being observed. Heaven had already prepared the destination, but the journey itself was ordained to prepare the one who would dwell there. This was not a delay of the promise. It was a shaping of the vessel. While the chosen one longed for movement, God was watching for maturity. While they waited for the door to open, he waited for their heart to deepen. For the Lord knew that the blessing without foundation would collapse under its own weight. And so he waited, not because the chosen one was unworthy, but because they were worth refining. There were days when the chosen one looked up and whispered, "Have you forgotten me?" But the heavens had not turned away. The silence was a sanctuary where faith was forged, and the chosen one kept believing. They continued to pray when nothing shifted. They sang worship through dry seasons. They held on to hope when logic offered none. Even when questions echoed without answer, they refused to abandon their trust. Their soul may have bent, but it did not break. And that was the test. Not to see if they could understand, but to see if they would still believe. This journey mirrors that of Abraham, who was asked to leave behind everything familiar and walk toward a promise he could not see. God said simply, "Go to the land I will show you." And Abraham went, not because he understood, but because he trusted the one who spoke. So it has been with the chosen one. They have walked without map or certainty, guided only by the quiet conviction that God was still leading. Heaven has taken note, not of public declarations or outward achievements, but of the private decisions, the moments no one saw, where the chosen one chose faith over fear, obedience over bitterness, surrender over control. And now the Lord speaks over them with gentleness and fire. You did not need signs to keep going. You did not demand proof to remain faithful. You honored me in secret. Now I will honor you in the open. Because without faith, it is impossible to please God. And yet the chosen one pleased him, not with perfection, but with persistence, not with clarity, but with endurance. And that endurance has now brought them to the edge of fulfillment. What once felt like a delay is revealed as preparation. What once felt like silence is now understood as strategy, and what once felt like being forgotten is now crowned with favor. Soon, the waiting will end, but the chosen one will carry its wisdom into the new house, not with resentment but with reverence. They will know that it was not wasted time. It was sacred time, and the foundation it formed cannot be shaken. What God is preparing for the chosen one is not just a change in scenery, it is a restoration of everything that was broken beneath the roof they are about to leave behind. For too long, the home they have lived in has echoed with heaviness, silent tensions, distant hearts, unexplained conflict, strained laughter. Love remained, but it grew tired. Faith endured, but it became quiet. The air became thick with weariness. And though the chosen one tried to fight it, there were days it felt as though the house itself was resisting peace. But what the chosen one must now understand is that this move is not only for them, it is for everyone under their covering. The place God is leading them to is not simply a physical address. It is a dwelling where heaven will breathe again, where rest will settle like morning light, where what was cold will grow warm and what was fractured will begin to heal. This new house is not a reward for survival. It is an altar of renewal. As they step across the threshold of that place, the chosen one will sense it instantly, an invisible shift. Not forced or dramatic, but holy. The weight that once followed them home will fall away. Where once prayers felt pressed against the ceiling, now they will rise easily. Where conversations ended in silence, now they will end in softness. Where conflict erupted without reason, now harmony will gently settle in. This is the blessing the Lord is placing over the new space, not merely protection, but atmosphere. The air itself will testify that peace has returned. Those closest to the chosen one, spouses, children, siblings, even extended family, will be drawn into the overflow. Some who grew distant will come near. Others who once mocked the faith that held everything together will be silenced by what they feel when they enter. Tears will fall, not from pain, but from recognition. Something is different here. God is here, and it will not be emotional manipulation. It will not be crafted moments. It will be the natural outworking of a house where the Lord himself has been enthroned. There will be laughter again, real laughter, not forced. There will be meals without tension, conversations without walking on edge, nights where sleep returns without anxiety. The chosen one will no longer carry the weight of their family's atmosphere on their shoulders. God himself will carry it. For the new house will be more than a dwelling. It will be a spiritual womb, a place where God begins something fresh, not just in the chosen one, but in those they love most. Long ago, the chosen one may have prayed alone at the table, asking God to touch the hearts of their family. They may have cried quietly, saying, "Lord, if you don't change something, I don't know how much longer I can carry this." That prayer was not forgotten. It was folded into this promise. Because God does not only deliver individuals, he redeems households. As it was declared long ago, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." That declaration will no longer be distant. It will become reality in the place God is now preparing. And when the chosen one looks around that new home, they will not boast in the beauty of the structure, but in the beauty of what is happening inside it. The true gift will not be the walls, the windows, or the key. It will be the return of reverence. It will be the healing of relationships. It will be the quiet restoration of family, led not by force, but by the presence of God. Though the chosen one has felt caught between longing and uncertainty, the truth is this: the shift has already begun. The signs are not approaching, they are already unfolding. Heaven has not just spoken a promise, it has activated it. The ground beneath the chosen one is no longer still. Something is stirring, shifting, rising. And though it has not yet touched paper or keys or bank accounts, the spiritual movement is unmistakable. The restlessness that once seemed like confusion is now revealed to be holy urgency. The recent moments of disruption, unexpected tension, strange delays and sudden closures, these are not setbacks, they are signs. God is allowing old patterns to break so that no one mistake them as the path forward. He is allowing comfort to fade from the familiar so that the chosen one will not be tempted to stay when the new door opens. And even the people around them are shifting. Some are drawing closer. Others are stepping back. This too is preparation. Heaven is rearranging the surroundings so that when the moment comes, the chosen one will not hesitate. There have been glimpses already, a message out of nowhere, an unexpected invitation, a comment that seemed ordinary but struck deeply. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are the early drops of rain before the downpour. Just as the prophet Elijah once told his servant, "Go and look toward the sea," and the servant returned, saying, "I see a cloud as small as a man's hand," so too is the chosen one, seeing the first evidence. And that small cloud carries the weight of an entire outpouring. The downpour is coming. The storm of release, the flood of favor, the rain of provision, it is on the way. The signs are the mercy of God preparing the heart before the harvest arrives. The timing is no longer distant. The Lord is not speaking of someday. He is speaking of soon. Before this year ends, the shift will be complete. But already right now, the pieces are falling into place. The angels have not just been dispatched. They are already working. The road is already being cleared. The chosen one is not in the waiting room, They are at the doorway. What remains now is readiness. What heaven requires is sensitivity. What God seeks is obedience in motion. The chosen one must not dismiss what they sense. Every unease, every prompting, every interruption of the ordinary rhythm is part of the unfolding. Even their awareness of this message in this very moment is not random, it is divine orchestration. God did not lead them here by chance. He led them here to recognize the movement has already begun. Now that the time has drawn near, the chosen one must no longer delay their preparation. The signs have spoken. The Spirit has stirred. The timeline has aligned. And heaven has made its final declaration. Prepare to cross the threshold, not in theory, not in sentiment, but in tangible steps of faith. This is no longer a season for wondering what might happen. This is a time for aligning every part of life with what is already unfolding. Preparation must begin in the spirit. Before the boxes are packed or the route is mapped, the heart must be bowed in surrender. The chosen one must pray not as one begging for permission, but as one consecrating the miracle in advance. Every room of the new house, though unseen, must already be offered to the Lord. Let your presence dwell. There must become the prayer that rises like incense. This is not just about moving into a space. It is about enthroning God at the center of it before the door is even opened. But prayer alone is not the only preparation. There must also be fasting, a quiet sharpening of discernment, a clearing of noise, a deepening of spiritual hearing. For in the days ahead the Lord may whisper precise instructions, a time, a name, a location, a voice to trust, a door to walk through. And the chosen one must be able to recognize it not by logic but by spiritual witness. These details may come during sleep, during worship, during silence. They may seem small, but they will carry weight, and they will be time-sensitive. There is also a need to write, to document. The chosen one must begin to record what they feel, what they dream, what God reveals, not because they may forget, but because what is coming is sacred, and sacred things must be stewarded with care. What seems like a fleeting impression may soon be revealed as the exact key to the door that opens. And finally, the chosen one must separate themselves from unbelief. This is not the hour to entertain voices of fear, not the time to explain the promise to those who were never given the burden of it. The promise was not made to them. The vision was not entrusted to them. The chosen one must protect the atmosphere around their expectation, for the spiritual climate in this final hour is critical. Already God is bringing the appointed moment closer. The release is accelerating, and the Lord is saying, when the call comes, move quickly. When the door opens, do not hesitate. When the key is placed in your hand, walk through without looking back. The threshold is holy. What waits beyond it is not just a house. It is a season sealed in heaven, and the chosen one must meet it not with casual curiosity, but with reverence, obedience, and full surrender. Because the house has been prepared, the angels have already gone ahead. The key is ready, and the time is now. Let it now be established beyond question. The word sent to the chosen one has been spoken, and it shall not return void. It was not born from man's imagination, nor drafted from the emotions of a fleeting hour. It was released from the mouth of God, carried on the breath of the Spirit, and delivered at the appointed time for the one whom heaven has marked since before their first breath. The chosen one was not brought to this moment by accident. They were drawn here by design. Through wildernesses, they did not choose; through delays, they did not understand; through trials that nearly broke them, yet heaven sustained them through every valley to bring them now to the very edge of fulfillment. What they heard was not suggestion, it was decree. What stirred within them was not sentiment, it was confirmation. The weight they feel upon their heart in this moment is not burden, it is glory settling on their shoulders like a mantle passed from the throne of God himself. And now the Father speaks not just of what is coming, but of what has already begun. To the chosen one, let it be known you are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. The season of obscurity has served its purpose. The delay has done its refining work. The silence has proven your faith, and the wilderness has trained your spirit. Now the Lord declares that the time of emergence is here. The home you longed for is not a metaphor, it is real. The key that was promised is not symbolic, it is prepared. The shift you felt in your spirit is not emotional, it is prophetic alignment. And though your hands may still be empty, heaven sees them as ready. The Father has written your name on the door. The angels have been dispatched. The way has been cleared. And the word that hovered over your life for so long has now been set into motion. Do not look back. Do not carry the weight of yesterday into the promise of tomorrow. Do not explain what God has made holy. Do not hesitate when the moment arrives. The Lord has gone before you, and He has also walked beside you. He will not fail you in the hour of fulfillment. When the door opens, it will not creak, it will swing. When the opportunity comes, it will not ask for credentials, it will recognize obedience. When the key is placed into your hand, you will not tremble with fear, but with the awe of a servant who knows the word has come to pass. So now, let every voice of fear be silenced, every shadow of doubt be cast out, every accusation from the enemy fall powerless to the ground. For the word has been released, the season has shifted. The weight of confirmation now rests upon the chosen one, and nothing in hell or on earth can delay what God has decreed. This is not the beginning of hope, it is the beginning of fulfillment. And when the chosen one steps into the new place, they will fall to their knees, not in confusion but in reverence, not asking, "Why me?" but declaring, "My God, you remembered." The chosen one is ready. The word is sealed. The house is waiting, and the glory that is coming will be greater than everything that was lost. Amen.